seen something that was tearing up the internet when I was doing some research trying to construct a video. Look, do y'all think 100 men could take down one gorilla? You know what I'm saying? Look, we're gonna start off with with something a little light, because this video is gonna be a little heavy. So brace yourself, and like I always say, don't believe anything you see in these videos until y'all go out here and do your own damn research. I'm not in charge of what you believe, but look, let's have a good time today. Just know if you're going through a tough time, we're going through this thing called life together. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get this video to like 20,000 likes. Let's crack that algorithm right on the head. Y'all know how we do. Go ahead, send this video to your friends and your families, and let's get it.
So y'all telling me 100 humans taking that out? Be for real, gang. On phone them, unless they had weapons. You gonna see 100 RPs in that chat.
A nigga just said 100 humans will get dog walked by a gorilla. I gotta think about this. 100 humans. 100 humans against one gorilla? Bro. Wait, let me think about it. Let me think. Because he sounded too confident. I'm just trying to think before I say 100 humans, right? That's 100. That's 100. Bro, we were going to beat the fuck out that gorilla again. Man, that gorilla is getting his ass beat.
On folk,
okay,
no.
If we get 100 humans, that's not scared. That's brave to fight the goddamn that gorilla getting it. Man, we gonna stump that. Man, we stumping that motherfucker in the ground. No, gang. One gorilla, bro. 100 humans versus one gorilla, bro. We beating that gorilla ass, gang. I honestly feel like we'll win that battle. Yeah, we'll win that battle. Definitely. I say 50 humans will beat a fucking gorilla if we being 100. 100, nigga, that's overkill, nigga. We stomping that motherfucker. We turn that bitch to a monkey.
You say we turn him into a monkey? Well, my question is, who the hell going first? There so ain't me.
Now I got to get in on this conversation. Come here, let me tell you something. Y'all talking about 100 men versus one gorilla. Now, hold up, back up a bit. Let me say something like that. Listen to me. Hey, is it a silverback gorilla? Because the silverback gorilla, it can lift up to 2 tons, probably even more than that. And it's got the strength of like 7 to 10 humans, all right? And they talking about man. They ain't talking about no little lady booty. Listen, if that silverback hit you one time with that paw, with that hand, hit you with that hand one time, you gotta understand that if you get a concussion or your equilibrium gone, you no good. You no good. So let's just say silverback just decided to do this. Whoosh! And he hit 7 of y'all at one time. Some of y'all gonna die. The rest of y'all gonna have concussions and be so disoriented. You gonna be like, man, let me just rethink this. You know what I'm saying? Now I know y'all trying to survive, but see the silverback, he been surviving out there the whole time. Now imagine when he step back and do that thing that he do like this. Oh, boom! Listen, it's over. 100 men. Men. Oh, you don't give a fuck. You got the baddest men on the planet. Y'all ain't got no guns. Y'all just going in there. So you telling me 20 of y'all finna just run up to the gorilla. Man, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna all jump at the same time and then hope he don't do that shit where he go, oh, woo. What? Listen, a silverback gorilla, and we talking about a silverback gorilla that know what he doing. He want to fight. He want to get in that box for 15 seconds. Now, if a silverback gorilla can knock out 7 to 10 people at one time, he only need 5 to 6 blows to knock half of y'all out. So think about a boxing match, right? Pop, 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 pop. 5 hits, y'all disoriented. I didn't say you dead, but you disoriented. You might be concussed. Your equilibrium might be gone. You wobbling. Boy, that silverback is trying to squabble up. He not thinking about how many of y'all, he got survival skills. You see what I'm saying? If y'all ain't got no spears, you ain't got no guns, you going in there with your hands and your fingernails. Your toenails better be real strong. Your fingernails better be real good. You better have the grip of a damn, I don't know. Because you just got the grip of a man. And I'm sorry. The only way 100 men finna take down a silverback gorilla unless that joker don't want to fight back. But if he a warrior, shit, man, you can kiss my ass. Silverback? A silverback finna hit all 10 of y'all at the same time. I go, boom, hurt, 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 hurt. And he having fun. Think about it. Wait till he warm up. He ain't even warmed up. Now wait till he warmed up. Now silverback hop back. He doing this now. So he started off like this. You see? And now he done warmed up and he doing this. Man, listen. Shit. 100 men. What type of men y'all talking about? Shh. You crazy. Y'all crazy. Silverback? Who running up on the silverback? It's like y'all trying to think of silverback? Man, bro. You trying to walk out there with no arm, no legs. Man, listen, man. Y'all.
So you're telling me 100 grown men can't take down a silverback gorilla? This isn't even a fair comparison. This is what 100 men look like versus one gorilla. And this picture is over exaggerated. A gorilla isn't even this big compared to a human. The average male silverback gorilla stands between 4'11 and 5'11, but it can be 300 to 430 pounds. So you're telling me 100 men can't take that down? Bro, I think 50 men with a strategy and a plan can take down a silverback gorilla. Man, come with something more like realistic. Y'all giving us too much firepower. 100 men versus uno silverback gorilla. Man, come on, dog. If it was like 5, 10, 15, they'd be like, all right, bro, y'all might be in for some trouble. It might be a little hard, but what I'm looking at is basically a strong human, a super strong human. 100 of us can most definitely take that down, man. Come better. Come with some more competition.
As an actual zookeeper, this is how I would have dealt with this situation. Pull the first gorilla back, knee at the spine, pick it up, slam its head into the ground, move into tackle position, tackle the next gorilla to the ground, grab it by the back of the head, pull its face into your chest, and suffocate it. That will incapacitate the gorillas and stop the fight. If you go to the gym, you should have no problem doing this.
Hey, y'all, so look. Let me know in the comments down below. That was just some random shit that I found on the internet. It was just, I was fascinated by it because I feel like if I get together the team that I want, 100, I'm going to get those power lifters that you see lifting tons, like almost tons and stuff like that. I'm going to get them to hop on the silverback. The rest of us is going to bite him, scratch him, pull his eyes out, all that. They are them together, like 10 of them. They don't even need 10 of them to get on his ass. Then we're gonna tear him apart. It's like, look, men nowadays are so damn weak, man. Like, how are we supposed to be able to protect our women, bro? And we don't think 100 men can take down one silverback. One thing I tell you this, we have a strategy, but nigga, I ain't going first. That's all I got to tell y'all. But look, we're gonna get into this video. Let me know down below what would the strategy be. Would you be the first person to walk up on the silverback? Do you think it's a good plan to have those big, strong dudes? I'm not one of those. I'm 6 foot, 215. I'm not one of those. I'm not 300, 400 pounds. We need those guys. But yeah, of course. Once they grab a hold to them, then yeah, people like me, we're going to put them paws on them. We're going to rip eyeballs out, everything. Spread his legs, kick him in between, you feel me? Everything. We got to survive, y'all. That's called survival. That's not cheating. That's survival. I know that he's super strong and he can bite, but we can bite too. That's all I got to say. But let's get into this video, though. Look, man, hold it together. This is a banger right here. Make sure y'all smash that like button. I want to keep it light in the beginning because this right here, it's going to be good.
do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because if where we are, there's something else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Can't you guess?
Are you telling me there's a possibility that electric current generated in a fashion such as this could possibly cause heart disease and/or stroke?
Yes.
You have to know that that's a mind-blowing thought for a lot of people, including me.
I'm aware of that. I was a member of the first ad hoc committee to evaluate the biological studies that were performed for Project Sanguine. And I most certainly sat there and listened to several studies that had very definite effects, yes. Animals exposed grow at a slower rate than control animals. A number of projects have shown this to be true. The second area in which definite effects do appear is that exposure to this type of field seems to produce stress.
Is it true that the Navy repressed that report for better than 2 years?
The Navy did not disseminate the report widely. Human volunteers were exposed to the same sort of magnetic field that the sanguine antenna would emit. There was a very definite indication that following such exposure for a 24-hour period of time, that these people experienced considerable elevations in their serum triglycerides. We know of, I believe it's 5 specific projects in which positive results were obtained when the projects were terminated and the money just disappeared. There was no more to continue the work.
Now, is this a definite pattern?
It appears to be.
That when a study begins to find that there may be adverse effects, that the money dries up?
Not even adverse effects, any effect. If a person has already publicly gone on record that the voltage field from a transmission line, million times stronger than that from the sanguine antenna, is harmless, then obviously he cannot do an about-face and say the sanguine antenna may be harmful. So that a number of people on this committee, I would feel, have a pre-bias.
Is what you're trying to say that we're playing with a stacked deck?
I think so, yes. I certainly would not want to live in an area where such an antenna system was operative, nor would I want any of my family living there. I cannot say for certain today that this would be hazardous, but there exists in my mind a very clear-cut indication that it may.
I'll just stand back in front of the window. This is terrorism. This is a follow-up from my previous videos. This is my house. This is my bedroom. There's my bed. This is where I sleep at night. I am being harassed, electronically harassed, the directed energy weapon systems. This is because I've spoken out against the agenda. It's being beamed through my bedroom window at night time when I sleep. I'm currently standing in front of the window, but watch what happens when I stand outside of the window. Watch the frequency meter just there. I'm going to step back into the window frame again to block the signal. Step outside of it again.
Puts a whole nother put a whole nother perspective on people getting out here telling the truth. So when I ask y'all smash that like button, people.
CERN. How they thought that there were other dimensions, you know, other worlds all around us, and how they wanted to try and make a window, you know, so they could look through and see what's on the other side.
CERN.
CERN, also known as the European Organization for Nuclear Research, is an intergovernmental organization comprising 23 member states. It is tasked with overseeing the largest particle physics laboratory globally. Its facility is situated in the northwestern suburb of Geneva, between the borders of France and Switzerland. Half of the world's particle scientists are employed at CERN, collaborating to achieve new feats in physics and astronomy. The organization manages the largest and most powerful particle collider, the Large Hadron Collider, LHC. Located nearly 100 meters underground, the Large Hadron Collider forms a 27-kilometer ring, housing a circular tunnel where beams of energy race around at almost the speed of light. The LHC emits a constant buzzing and humming, resembling a colossal scientific playground where remarkable discoveries occur regularly. It transcends the definition of an ordinary machine, pushing the boundaries of technology further than any other contemporary invention. The construction of the LHC required immense collaboration, planning, and precision. It involved over 10,000 scientists, billions of dollars, and engineers from 100 countries working together for 2 decades to bring this facility to fruition.
Okay, I got one for you. You know what this is a picture of? This picture was taken by in the European Times. It's of the Large Hadron Collider. It's the sky above the Large Hadron Collider. What do you think's happening there? What do you think's going on? Think that's a portal opening up? Now, let me see. What would Satanists want to bring through in a portal? Yeah, demons. And, okay, we're not going to just be possessed. Like, that ain't bad enough. They want to bring demons in the flesh into this realm using this, the Large Hadron Collider. Yeah, look at that. Don't tell me that's not a portal. I've seen enough sci-fi. That's a portal, dude. And they're going to bring some demons through there in the flesh. In the flesh. It's literally going to be hell on earth. That's what the Satanists want to do. What WTF?
Before we get, sorry, if I can just pause you. Yes, you just said something which made my ears prick up. They are part of CERN.
Yes, because actually CERN is dealing with radionuclear research.
Right.
It's nuclear research. But it is more than that, because there are lots of physicians. I know some. They're doing very strange experimentation. There are beings from portals coming in and out. It's physicists from the CERN who told me this.
They've testified to beings coming in and out of portals.
Yes. And they were saying, I mean, I met them at a dinner, and there were 2 of them. And both said that, yes, they have, secondhand proof that the people who they're dealing with the boson of Higgs and the subatomic things. So they have apparently in the bottom of the CERN this portal, this door where they are dealing with all the subatomic dimensions. They say there are 17 different dimensions of reality. That's what those physicists say. Some others say there are more dimensions. We know the time, space, the tri-dimensional X, Y, Z in a graphic. But then you have more dimensions, and they are playing with that. They're using that, and we're a group, and they had a being. They did not tell me more. Who came that doesn't resemble a human, and then they had another one, and they have a proof because they left a scarf. They left the scarf. And now, when you look at what is going on in the CERN, there is a fight from some of the military agencies, Intel. They say that there is a fight on time. They're trying to change time. I'm just saying that because as a scientist, you cannot not say something so important. Because if you can deal with the smallest energies on Earth, you can imagine that you can go through other realms or dimensions, you know, they say, yeah. So I will stop there. But CERN is very important, and it's in Geneva. And they have a tunnel for their experiment that is going down to Milano, to Genova, under the lake.
Why is
They're doing
Geneva?
much more than,
Why is Geneva of such significance? Because you've got the
Now, I can say there's other clips that I couldn't post on here because of the past. I've tried to before and they've given me strikes. So I can't. Y'all seen the title and what it was on that one, right? It's certain things that's in your body which you can get out of your body that you might want to, but can't say too much. Do your own damn research. But let's keep going though. Hopefully you get it.
I finally figured out what they're using CERN for. These variant clones are trying to escape their judgment. Every time the Elohim get close to coming here, these people jump the timeline to try to escape.
Who just passed away? And what time is it? Judgment? Okay.
Judgment. These Zeta Grays gave these variants the technology to move our Earth through multiversal dimensions. Our military has seen through Project Looking Glass that their end was destruction and judgment, and this is what they're trying to run from and escape. The Kangs are coming. There's nowhere to hide. The Elohim are eventually going to find their way here. Eventually, the Hydrogen Collider will be destroyed, and there will be no more timelines for you to run to and try to escape. Once the Hydrogen Collider is destroyed, we will all return back to the sacred timeline.
For the elite, it was never about living forever. They already had gained immortality. But what's the point of living forever if you can never ascend into the fifth dimension? And although the Elohim may be stuck here in this third dimension, reincarnating again and again, eventually when the black sun rises, we will have our turn to exit. Within the fifth dimension, it's outside space and time. So these reincarnations that we're living over and over again is just a blip in the eyes of the eternal Elohim. The Anunnaki have already obtained the melanin. They learned how to extract it from our DNA. I guess we'll see if all the battles and wars were really worth it. It's very interesting times we're heading into. When the black sun rises, all different types of new species are going to be born. I'm very interested to see what happens to the mixed species on this planet.
Here is the inventor, Daniel, and here are some of his photos. This one looks very much like an alien gray, maybe because it's gray, for instance, I'm not too sure. But this one looks rather bizarre. It looks something that belongs in a sci-fi movie. And this one kind of gives me Prometheus vibes going on right here. But for those looking at these photos, what are your thoughts on this? And we can discuss that before we continue. This one, we got the fire entity going on right here. Angel type entity. If people had this technology in hand, I mean, these ones look to be terrifying if you're looking at these, but if people had this technology in hand, would they reconsider what ghosts are, where maybe they could be these multi-dimensional entities instead?
Hell no.
Okay, so let's talk about the Anunnaki's description again. Okay, so these skulls right here are the Paracas skulls found in South America, and as you can see, these are giants, right? This head is about the size of a human torso. As you can see, if you look at the giant's hair, he has a scarlet red color hair, the same type of description that the military was describing, that they was fighting a giant out in Kandar, described the same exact way. And like I said, these are the Anunnaki that stayed behind and felt like they were still superior to the humans. These Anunnaki are actually pale skinned, right? They have like a red lips, and they have like a super grinning smile, like the movie It, right? And they were cannibals, so they used to eat people, and their lips and their nose would be red, and this is where the clowns come from. because the Anunnaki are actually cannibals, right? They have a royal family, which is probably not like as bad as the other ones, but when their civilization came here, they had no regard for human life, and they look at us like cattle. They also felt that if they ate us, they would gain some type of supernatural ability, so they was consuming us by the thousands. These are the original pre-Adamites, the ones that mixed their DNA with the Neanderthal to create Homo sapien. So this is the reason why a lot of the Homo sapiens and man today have hair. This is where it's coming from. It's coming from the Anunnaki. And like I told y'all, Marduk, Anu, Incan, Enlil, they're not from this district. They're from a whole nother part of the realm, right? The black people in this realm, we are not Anunnaki. We come from the 5th dimension. The Anunnaki is jealous of the Elohim that's on this planet, and they want the access to go into a higher dimension, but they need the DNA, which they already have. This is why they have melanin conventions every year in Sweden, and they bring all the countries except Africa.
Of course, you gotta have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is an Arrow video release on Blu-ray. Beautiful slipcover and packaging here. It has a new 4K scan. Highly recommend this one if you want to pick up the movie. This is the best version to own it.
Ain't that crazy though? Like, think about it. Think about this. Think about Freddy Krueger. What do they all go off of? Think about the reptilians they talk about. You know, there's different factions of the Anunnaki. What do they prey on? What do they want from you? They what operate off of what? Fear. When Freddy Krueger came in your dream, guess what? Only how he can get you is if you are in fear. The killer clown. The only way that he can consume you, what? Is if you are in fear, right? What do they want to come here and harvest? They say what? Loosh. And then they get that from a source of fear too, right? If I'm not mistaken. But this is all kind of like weird and crazy. And then you remember the movies, the Attack of the Killer Clowns. Now, I always wondered, why the hell did the clowns come from outer space? Y'all trying to tell us something? Did that shit really happen? Damn. Is it really true that they say all of these movies are just a reference or a documentary of what used to be? That shit, I tell you one thing. Say the black sun do come out the ground, right? Come out the water. That shit better not come up with it. That's all I got to say, but we're going to keep going, though, man. This is definitely interesting. Let's keep going. Smash that like button.
Okay, so this that show Loki on Marvel, where he was basically ascended into the 5th dimension outside space and time. This is called the Timeless Zone, where basically you're cursed to observe only and never get to participate in the 3rd dimension. You can create and manifest anything at will, but the only way that you get to participate is if you enter the 3rd dimension, and you'll forget where you initially came from. So like you become part of the game. But him as the observer, without you observing this 3rd dimension, it disappears. So somebody always has to observe this dimension from the 5th dimension in order for it to exist. And that's why Kang was actually the creator, who basically was the original one who had to monitor the 3rd dimension, and then Loki actually came and tried to take his place. This is all symbolic of them wanting to enter into the 5th dimension, because Loki is an Anunnaki, right? So they want to ascend into the 5th dimension so that they can observe and gain that wisdom that the Elohim had.
Did y'all see that tree? Did you see the tree on the portal of the CERN?
This was one of the most interesting alien encounter stories I've ever come across, but I'm wondering if the beings that she saw were actually aliens, or were they beings that exist in another realm. Sometimes people can accidentally tap into their 3rd eye and see beings that exist in realms only visible to the 3rd eye. This happens all the time with children, and adults usually shrug it off as some type of imaginary being or friend.
I've never seen a human that looked like that. I just always said that they were aliens, and after I tell you the story, you are going to say that they were aliens too. My dad was a Boy Scout leader. He didn't have any boys. He only had 5 girls. So by him being a Boy Scout leader, all of the men inside the Boy Scout troop and stuff said because he didn't have daughters, every now and then they told him that it would be okay for him to bring a daughter if they wanted to come and see how the Boy Scout meetings work and whatnot and stuff. So this particular night, he took my older sister, Henrietta, She was about 15, and he took me, and I must have been 7. We had to drop a little boy off that lived right down the street from us. So we were in the car, and he lived like about a block and a half down. And my dad had to walk him to the back house. So he told us to stay in the car. And this is nighttime. It's like about 9 o'clock at night. And as soon as he got into the gate and sort of started walking, we're sitting there. And then I look out the back window. Well, we lived on a dead-end street. It was a horse stable at the end. The horse stable had like a barn gate across there, and it was like some hay and stuff in the street. When I looked out the back window, I could see something at the horse farm down there. And I thought it was horses at first. I told my sister, I said, look, there's some little ponies that are playing down there. And she looked out the window and she said, those aren't ponies. She said, look at them. And when I really looked at them, they were only like about 4 feet tall, actually. And they were standing on their hind legs. And then they had their arms up. They didn't have fingers. They had hoofs. Like a horseshoe has like a hoof. So they had hoofs here, and they had hoofs on their feet, and they were standing up, and they were walking around and kind of playing. And they would bend down and they would scoop up hay, and then they throw it up in the air, and they would play some more. And they kept dancing, going like this. They kept playing in the street, just raising their arms and raising their legs. And one was a light pink color, and the other one was kind of bluish gray. They didn't have hair. They just had skin that was like pig skin, hairless skin. Their color came around their faces like this, and their face was the color of the inside of my palm. It was lighter. But their actual color started after their facial color. It was just smooth, gray skin, like a gray rat. The inside was all like the inside of my palm. Well, that was all light, all on the inside here. But then the color was on like the back of their legs and in their back and the backs of their arms. They felt playful, I guess, because they were doing that little dance, and they were having fun. At one point, they threw some hay up and looked straight at us. They stopped and then they went right back to the dancing and the playing and stuff. I didn't feel threatened or like they're gonna be evil or do something to us, but it just scared me would they look so weird.
Fuck yeah, I'm about to make y'all think real quick, all right? Just think. If you a conspiracy theorist, this is for you. This is not for these overly religious motherfuckers who just believe everything that's handed to them. You probably realize that, past 5 years, shit just been weird. I'm gonna say past 10 years because like the Mandela effect, the planes crashing, how fast technology is fucking rolling. And you remember back in 2012, if you over 30, you know what I'm talking about, where everybody was like, the world is going to end. And everything seems to have been.
Boy, look, we didn't live through a lot of those, right? The world was supposed to end like in my lifetime, what, about 10 times already, 15 times, 16, whatever they want to call it. Look, man, it's not going to end. We're just going to reset, and we still going to be here, and people still going to be in their same situations, even though they talking about they're going to be raising their vibrations and shit. But let's get back to it.
And reset it somehow. And then if you know anything about the Dark Ages, that little fraction of like a couple 100 years or something where it wasn't no recorded history, I just found some shit that makes sense to me. But I don't just believe it just because I'm reading it, but it's something to think about. Let me show you. Hey, listen, y'all. Listen. The Dome and Outer Space Projection. The Last Reset, 1728. Listen, this book go over. Look, fuck it. Chapter 1, Sunset of Ancestral Shores. And then it goes down here. Why would they lie to us? the false universe, simulated outer space. Hold on. The 8 cycles of humanity and their respective resets. The first generation, fuck it, let's go to the first generation, 59. The first generation, after the reset of the first humanity of Hyperborea, Asgard, and the custodians, with the help of the Anunnaki. If you know anything about the custodians and the Anunnaki, you know what the fuck is happening here. Establish a new civilization under their direct control. What happened after that? The second generation came. The second generation was created with the intention of being more obedient to the custodials. The third generation, look, all of this shit makes sense when you read it, bro, I'm telling you. The fifth generation, the fire of 1666, the battle between Great Tartary and the Greys of Orion. Details of the projected simulation. I'm telling you right now, y'all, this book right here, if you one of those type of people, if you know that none of this shit is actually real, not saying God is not real, I'm just saying what we've been told is not the fucking move. Look, this book is less than like 150 pages. I'm gonna drop the link if y'all want to read it.
So I'm gonna cover this right here, talking about, how we not the Anunnaki, right? Because I know a lot of people is coming on my page saying that the blacks are the Anunnaki and I'm wrong, and we came from Nibiru, this and that. But if you understand the story of Nibiru, if you read the story, you know that Anu came to Tiamat, which was our realm, and made a war with Tiamat and destroyed our realm, right? And all the realms split open. He caused the flood of Noah, right? Before the flood of Noah, they had Lemuria was here, Atlantis was here, and all the ancient kingdoms was here, thriving, right? But when Anu came, he got jealous, seeing what he was doing, made war with Tiamat, sent his son out here, and Marduk destroyed the whole realm. And you never ever see the military start complaining about UAPs until them orbs start coming out from the center of the earth, right? So the difference between the Anunnaki spaceships and the Elohim is that the Anunnaki spaceship is vast technology. They got like iron ships and technology, and they had that Anunnaki ship on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. Why they ain't say nothing about that? They only complain when they seen the orbs, right? That's when they started making it a big deal, having conferences, because the orbs don't belong to them. The orbs are from the 5th dimension in the center, right? Tiamat's children and super advanced Elohim. So we cannot be Anunnaki because Anu came to Earth and there was already a civilization here. You can't be both people. You're either Anunnaki or you're the children of Tiamat. You understand, from the 5th dimension. The only people that could possibly be Anunnaki and the children of Tiamat is mixed children, right? Because the Caucasian is the one that's connected to the Anunnaki, okay? And they're not from this realm. And like I told you, the Anunnaki have no melanin. They can't even take their sunlight. That's why they came to Earth, to get the gold, to take it back home, to put in their atmosphere, to help protect them from their own sun. Because they're not children of the 5th dimension. They're from this 3rd dimensional realm, right? The black people, the Elohim, the children of Tiamat from this realm are from the 5th dimension through the black hole sun portal. And that's why I said it has to make sense. You can't be the Anunnaki and the children of Tiamat. You see what I'm saying? So the Anunnaki came to Earth and made war with Earth from the people of Earth. So that's why I say we're not the Anunnaki. We can't be.
Okay, so this video is going to cover the entrance to inner Earth and how Greenland is connected to it. If you look at the center of it, it says Lomanova Ridge, but really that's a bridge that leads into inner Earth, right? And so the northern parts of Greenland is actually connected to the North Pole. It's connected to inner Earth. And that's what they're not telling you. The most expensive tickets you're going to get is flying to Greenland. If you don't believe me, go and see. Okay, so all the nations have a treaty for the North Pole. Okay, so the Russians own the major entrance to the North Pole, where basically the water just dips straight down, because the whole city descended into inner Earth when the Anunnaki had came here and made war with the Elohim. They descended the city to protect it, which was the capital of Atlantis. Okay, the Anunnaki ship landed in Greenland and they froze that whole area. That's why it's frozen. The Anunnaki spaceship that's in that land is still active, and it's still keeping the land frozen to this day. So as the black sun starts to rise, a lot of the ice is going to start to melt, and it's going to start to unveil a lot of ships, a lot of ancient cities that have been there that are parts of Atlantis from times to the past, right? So also as the black sun rises, they actually are going to go into inner Earth. They're going to trade places with us and go into inner Earth, so that way they can be protected from the 5th dimensional energy that's going to be coming to the surface. The president
of America will get Greenland before 2030 because he needs it in order to make sure that his civilization will survive. A lot of nations are actually going to leave the entire Tiamat district, like Elon Musk going to Mars, and like the movie Mickey 17 where they went to Niflheim. So a lot of these people are going to actually start to exit, and a lot of the elite are going to go underground. And this is what they've been planning from the beginning. When the black sun rises, the majority of the people on the surface are going to activate, destroying the world that we once knew.
This country is very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA. And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too.
Answer this question for me, y'all. Remember what Ronald Reagan, like some shit he wanted to talk about? What was that? Let me know in the comments down below. Hope y'all track it. That's when the hydrogen increased Superman's testosterone. Keep watching.
Explain to me what's spinning in this water. This water can turn into a whirlpool. And I'm trying to catch it on camera. I've seen it for the third time. This time I'm gonna let my camera run to see if we're gonna do it again. I keep seeing a whirlpool of water move around. There you go, you just seen it. It's doing it. See that? What is that? It's coming toward me. Look what? You know? It keeps coming toward me. they love me. Over the sea. Oh my God. Oh my God. I made a big one. Oh my God. Oh my God, big water.
Okay, so this video is going to cover the ultrasonic atomizer, and what it is a metal plate that vibrates at such a high frequency and vibrates so fast that it separates the hydrogen molecule from H2O. When the metal plate starts vibrating at a high frequency, it turns the water into like a mist type of hydrogen. And so this is the same hydrogen that's coming out from the fifth dimension that's actually hitting the sun. And the sun and the moon are both moons, right? Just one of them's reflecting the light at a higher density than the moon is. So as the black sun starts to rise and pushing that hydrogen all throughout, elevating the consciousness here, and everybody who's melanated is going to absorb this hydrogen energy and then transfer it into like a form of power. Mind you guys can be informed the sun is actually 90% hydrogen, and it doesn't produce any light by itself. It's only reflecting the true sun that's coming from the inner earth. So just like this plate is vibrating at a high frequency, so will the black sun raise the vibration, separating the hydrogen molecule from the oxygen molecule. So all this, the rivers and the seas are going to start boiling, just like Nina Simone said in that song, when she said she ran to the sea and it was boiling, and she ran to the river and it was boiling all on that day. So basically, as the black sun starts to rise, we're going to start seeing the rivers and the ocean start to boil at a high frequency, causing more hydrogen to be pushed throughout our atmosphere.
Sorry, I got a gnat in here. It's gonna land on my lip.
This is just for anybody that gets activated first. Whoever gets activated, y'all as fast as you can up to northern Canada and go over there towards the Queen Elizabeth Islands and try to run across the water and go ahead and get to the black sun so you can get fully empowered. Because you know what happened when Sonic finally got to the emerald, right? Yeah, he got to the emerald, which is the representation of the black sun, the green light, aurora borealis energy that turned him into a super saiyan. So that's what happens when you get hit with that fifth dimensional energy. You turn back into your ethereal corporeal bodies. So these power-ups are about to be insane, man. We're talking about electromagnetic beings able to do all different types of things with electromagnetism. Be able to sprint fast, fly, walk through walls, anything. Go invisible, all type of stuff with electromagnetism.
Let me tell you what I mean. You know, when you say, oh, I want to go get a job tomorrow, the dopamine get in your body and your mind and you think you already got a job, so you don't move. That's what I'm on. A lot of people think I'm crazy, I'm dumb, but you got to understand what dopamine is. When you pick up when you say, I'm gonna go do this, and then you pick up your phone and you can't stop scrolling, that's that good old dopamine. See, what people don't understand is the whole world is addicted. The addiction is from within. See, everybody blaming people. But when you look within, you also addicted. You everything, the whole world, even you and me. We all addicted in a different way. So you gotta have a plan. So you gotta tame your body and your mind first. So first thing you gotta do, you gotta wake up every day at the same time. You gotta try exercising your body to tell your body, look, you work for me. So you exercise it, make it move, even when it don't wanna move. And then you make your mind read for 10 to 15 minutes, even though it don't want to read, it hate to read. And then you make it remember. And you close your eyes, you accept all the pain, and you cry. And then you tell it to blank out. And then you let it blank out. If you do that every day, the same problem from yesterday won't come back tomorrow, because you got to wipe yourself. You know how you computer? We live in a simulation. So you know how the computer, you got to delete everything and wipe all the files. If you don't, it'll start running slow. Your phone and shit start running slow with all the backed up files in it.
Yes.
That's how your mind is. It's the same way. So you got to clear it. You gotta delete shit. You gotta remove shit. Or you gonna start getting real old and slow.
Look, y'all, that's definitely a hell of a burner right there. Hopefully y'all made it to the end of the video. Let me know how y'all feel about the video. Do y'all feel the energy rising? Do you believe that the black sun is upon us? Do you believe that these people, I believe they, look, I ain't gonna say ask you, do you believe they punching portals? Like it is what it is. They punching portals. I mean, they tell us in so many goddamn different ways. Look at the ceremonies, like look at the symbolism, look at everything. Who are they worshiping and who the fuck is coming through the portals? Definitely ain't gonna look like us. They bringing Pennywise back, and look, I ain't in no fear. See, I don't do these videos to work on fear. I do these videos to inform us so we can step on anything that come into our way. Just like I said in the beginning of the video about even the gorillas. The gorillas can't stop us either. We are the ones. We will step on anybody. We're intelligent. When we stick together, there's nobody that can do anything to us. All the different shades of melanin here we represent, right? Just let me know in the comments down below. Did you get the video? Do you understand that we stepping? Do you understand that we repping? Do you understand that we can use our mind as a weapon? Do you understand that we stand together and we stronger that way? It's not about the one. It's about everybody. It's about raising the vibrations of everybody. It's not about believing every little thing you see in these videos. If you get the message, you get the message. Did you get something out of this video? If you did, make sure you smash that like button. Share these videos with your friends and families. And like I always say, man, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. And I'm out, though. Blah.